What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the Guardian Report. This is Decon.
And this is Dutch.
What's up?
New camera. And new camera lens today, if you guys didn't notice.
You probably won't be able to tell
We
that
also
much.
are missing...
Yeah, a little change up. It's a little sideways, too, now that I'm looking at it. But, yeah, Alex stole our M. So we're working on a replacement right now. But you
Unless you're watching, then you're awesome.
You got this for now.
Mostly.
You got this for now. So what's going on, guys? How we living? I know.
So we have a big announcement today. We might as well announce it right off the rip.
What's the announcement?
We're changing the format of the show slightly.
Not really. Are you talking about the call? What are you
in the future.
Are you talking about the call?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, guys. So I think we've been talking about how we can get more people involved. What's going on, everybody? And one thing that we thought of was like that people really seem to like is when we have guests on the show. But then it's always like scheduling guests, and then they're on for the whole thing, and it's just like a little more difficult for like whatever. And we'd rather have you guys more involved with the show in general. So if you guys were live on the Instagram, we did a poll, and we actually did a poll here on YouTube as well. So definitely vote. But we're gonna start maybe having you guys call in for different portions, like a radio show
Via Discord.
Via Discord. So we'd set up a chat room basically, and if you wanted to potentially talk, you'd join that chat room on Discord, either on your phone, on whatever, and basically we could unmute you and have you come in to give your 30-second hot take, and then we could kind of hear from everybody throughout. Because I know like a lot of times we like read your stuff off. So if you guys have like a good comment in the chat, we'll be like, yeah, hell yeah. Like if we're talking about lore stuff, like Afro Bob could just hop on real quick, say his piece, and then whatever. Yep. And then when we're asking for your guys' comments,
and like a lot of the times we'll be reading the comments, and we'll read a really good one, and it's like we're like reading it for you. It's
like, and you could get on and
when
just
we could just be
elaborate
like, oh, Mattbot, how about you hop in for 15 seconds,
let's
15, 30
take you
seconds,
live for a minute.
Yeah,
and we'll just click live, boom, and that's the idea. All right, so hopefully you guys like that, and then obviously, like, if you enter that Discord, that means you're like willing to. If you enter that chat room on the day of the show, then that means you're willing to chat. So I'll bring you live no matter what.
For just $1. For just one
30
monthly payment of $5.99 a month, or more than one, hopefully.
So yeah, we've been thinking about doing that, and hopefully
payments.
we should have that set up by next week. Is the goal.
We're working on it.
If you guys are interested in that, but people did seem like they would be interested. So that's something new coming up, something exciting, and I think it'll be cool to like get different takes like that.
Yeah.
So charged up on that. Let us know what you think. What's going on, guys? We got who's in the chat? We got Spider. We got Mattbot. We got Afro Bob. We got Danny.
We got Kendo.
We got Kendo in the building. Who else? I know we got 8, so we got some more. Say what's up if you're out here.
People are just silent creepers, dude. Yeah. There's just people out there that just...
They see me lurking.
Lurking at the club. What does it say?
I don't know.
Lurking at your house. Lurking at your mama's house.
Yeah, that's who is Waka Flocka Flame.
Yeah. My boys, they be lurking.
Been here for an hour. Yeah, so we're trying to work on like setting it up properly so that it
we're on time at 3:30.
Yeah, but we can like set them up ahead of time, and you might see them for like days because you could set reminders too. So we're talking about maybe putting the post up even like a week in advance, and then you can set your reminders so that the second we actually go live and click that button, you'll get the notification, so you don't have to sit there and wait. That's the idea.
Yeah, might do that for our live streams too. Like I'm gonna be streaming tomorrow night. So
we'll see.
Might.
I can in for an hour. Rip.
Shout out to Duke Bigums, the 410,
the
410 at 410 Design at House Bigums.
Yeah.
He sent me a bunch of new overlays for my stream. So.
Oh, Jenna, I didn't post to the 410 Gaming. We got the producers in the building as always. GK, LB. Do you want to post up a quick story?
AKA Whisker Biscuit.
Awesome. AKA Whisker Biscuit, the joke teller of our streams. If you guys haven't heard her jokes on stream yet, when we do our gaming streams,
yeah, they're pretty funny.
Got some good ones.
Well,
I know.
sometimes they're funny.
Sometimes they're funny.
The best one was the Santa Claus one.
You're going to have to tune into the stream to find out.
Why is Santa Claus's sack so big? Because he only comes once a year.
Oh, you told me that. You act like that was your joke.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
I just didn't tell you it was Lauren's joke.
Yeah.
Just didn't give credit.
I can't take credit for it either. I saw it on TikTok.
So.
Spider said your jokes are the best. Hell yeah. All right, guys. So we got some good topics for you. What did you say, Lauren?
Now I feel pressure to come up with good jokes.
You have to have at least one good joke per stream. That's the goal. All right, guys. So we got some good topics.
A lot of exciting news.
A lot of new news. It's actually getting me charged up a little bit. Just a tad, just a little
microcharged.
micro chub. You know what I mean? Yeah, guys. So topic number 1. Let's roll right into it. The loot. So this is something that we talked about a while ago when it was a glitch, and basically, as you guys probably know, like 2 months ago there was a glitch where they did double Nightfall rewards on one of the.
It was Warden of Nothing.
Warden of Nothing.
Yep.
And everyone was farming it. It got a ton of love, and they took it back out of the game quickly, right, for the next time around or something. Yeah. So it like didn't count. And
during this time, it was one of the most like largely like people were all the streamers on Destiny were all
grinding.
They were all grinding that Nightfall.
The community was grinding
because it's very hard to get exotics first of all, and then to also get them with the desired roles. Yeah. And so right now we see the Nightfall. Last week was double loot drops.
So they brought it back.
Yep, they brought it back on purpose.
Yeah.
Power move,
and they did it specifically on the fastest, most farmable Nightfall, which I was like, dope. Like they didn't do it like on a week where it was like
the corrupted,
or like Garden World or something like ridiculous. You know what I mean? They gave you the like people were doing them in under 10 minutes. It's nuts.
Yeah. Our best one was like 9 minutes and 40 seconds.
We were farming 1080s, but people were doing them on Grandmaster in under 10 minutes. Like beast mode kids going in viz on hunters and stuff, but still.
Yeah, but you're not getting platinum rewards if you do that, so it's like...
No, they were. Glad's time was like 10 minutes or something.
With platinums?
Yeah.
I mean, good for him. But,
yeah, really dumb. But yeah, so they're bringing back these double rewards, and then this week, they had the triple infamy.
Right now.
Not double, but triple.
And next week, they're bringing back Iron Banner with triple Valor.
Yeah, not double, but triple.
And it got me thinking, when I saw this, they need to do shit like this all the time. Like they need to have an Iron Banner once a season where when you turn in that Iron Banner pinnacle bounty, it gives you 2 rewards. So instead of you getting your 4 pinnacles, you get 8. Because when you are trying to farm for exotics, like for instance, it took you forever to get a good pair of transversive steps.
A long time. Still don't have the best. Like it's a high stat roll, but the stat distribution is still
right. So think about, say there's how many Warlock exotic armor pieces do you think there are?
20.
20. So say there's 20 exotic armor pieces. You run a double Nightfall. You're not even guaranteed the exotic that you want, and you're definitely not going to get the stat distribution you want at all.
That 1 in a million chance.
So when they took that away originally from the Warden of Nothing strike, they were like, we don't want people getting the exotic they want and stop playing. You're never going to get that exotic. If anything, shit like this makes people play more.
Yeah.
Like I still don't have the perfect PvP stats.
No.
Anybody out there that does, good for you. But,
good RNG. Yeah. You're an RNG god.
I get the best RNG
now,
of all
time. I'm seeing in the chat, and I'm thinking the same thing as Kendo. Does anyone even care about Infamy or Valor? I cared about the Infamy because that's all I needed. 1 reset for dredging, so I got that this week. That was the only thing I ever needed. I've never done a reset, apparently, because I just haven't played Gambit that much. So it was really dope for me for that. But aside from that, no. And that leads us back to what we've talked about before.
At least 1,000 times. Resets need to be worth more.
Resets need to give bigger rewards.
Yeah.
A golf ball. Like if you got a golf ball every reset, you know the PvP players that aren't farming Nightfalls would be in that bitch.
And I've probably had more resets this season than I've had in any other season.
Like 10.
Yeah. 10 golf balls added to my inventory. That would be brilliant.
Done. Or just, like I said, exotic guaranteed. Like it should be at least a Grandmaster, if not more. Like for how much time you have to put in to do 1 reset, it should be like double Grandmaster Nightfall rewards.
Yep.
Not even a problem. And then people would farm it.
Let's see what the chat has to say.
What do you guys think? Same thing with Infamy. Like there has to be a reason that the resets matter, obviously. Like that, and right now there is...
The GOAT is in the building. We got the GOAT alarm going off. Jeffrey Adams.
What's up? We got Duke Bigums as well. Ace, what's up? How's everybody doing?
Go.
Events would be dope. The only reason people would care about Triple Valor is if not finished specific weapon quests requiring resets. Yep, that's your boy. Yeah. But the point is, the overall thing here is that I like the idea of a weekly rotator of some... What are you doing?
Dude, you guys are fucking up my vibe over here.
Hi. No, but I like the idea of a weekly thing where each week they give huge incentives to play a certain mode. Just like they do with the double week of Valor. Like, I wasn't grinding Grandmaster Nightfalls for golf balls, but the second that came out, I think I grinded like 15 that week. You know what I mean? I know other people grinded it way, way harder.
Yeah,
like,
Duke said, what if they introduce weekly challenge skins/ornaments?
sick.
Yeah.
As long as the incentives are there. Like I said, with the double loot Nightfall, it's fucking there. I think they killed that one. The Infamy and the Valor, not really there because those don't really translate to any in-game rewards, to be honest. They're kind of like a useless currency unless you need them for the quest. But
What, tokens?
No, not the token. You're not getting double. It'd be sick if it was like, well, I guess you get tokens from the resets and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Or no?
I don't know.
But not enough, not
When
to
do you
make
ever
it
use
like
tokens?
really worth. And the tokens aren't really worth anything either. So.
But they will be.
But I like the idea.
They will
of
be
like
in a couple
Crucible
months.
Week, Gambit Week, Strike Week, Repeat, or
Think
whatever.
about,
like,
I don't know if you just said this because I was too busy paying attention to them, but think about like other games that we play. Like think about Hyperscape right now. They have a rotating weekly playlist. Like last week it was when you pick up your guns, they were already fully charged up. The week before that, I don't know, they had like a big team battle. Like there's just too much empty space sometimes for me. Like you have Iron Banner and then there's nothing for a couple weeks until Iron Banner comes back. Like there should be Iron Banner one week, doubles the next week. Fucking Faction Wars, need to figure out a way to bring Faction Wars back. Like there needs to be something every single week to keep players engaged.
specifically with Gambit. We see incentives. It comes back to just the general category incentives.
Yeah.
Done. All right, next topic. Moving on.
And one more thing before we move on real quick. Hold on. I know like Bungie said that the reason they took that out was because I don't know if I already said this, but they didn't want people to get the rewards right away. You're never going to get the rewards you want. You're never going to get the perfect stats on anything. Like I'm still searching for like God roll guns because I don't have the right exact barrel or the right magazine.
Yeah.
Like I've got like fucking 4
But that's half the
gnawing
grind,
hungers. I have
like-
like 4 or 5 gnawing hungers that are all God rolls but not perfect.
But that's the grind. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah, I mean I get it.
And like when you finally get that item, it's way more rewarding than if they like just gave the shit away now.
I mean I don't want you to just give it away to me, but like having a 1 week to get an extra like a double chance to get like the
Like a
reward that I
double
want.
perk or something on the
Or
item.
just whatever.
Like they roll with like 2 perks in the second slot instead of 1.
Yeah, something. For
I
just
like
1
it.
week.
I like it.
I don't know if they'd be able to introduce
Incentives.
that to me,
Incentives.
but make me want it.
Give me the loot. Designed the best intentions.
Mapbot said the overlay times seem to be irrelevant.
Oh.
Oh, so guys, you guys are literally watching. So we decided to like kind of do something a little different. We're gonna like get straight to the point for our 3 minutes, and then after the 3 minutes is up, then we're gonna go on.
Then
a
we're gonna
rant.
talk
Then
about
we're
how
gonna go
long
on-
we want.
Yeah. So we're.
That's so dumb. Why'd you? Like why?
Because you guys are in a live audience, we're filming a new show. We're filming a mini-series with our topics.
We're gonna film some of the topics, guys, are gonna be re-uploaded, so we'll get more. Like not all of them, but some of them.
Yeah. So like good topics, we're gonna try to fit all of our.
Like into a YouTube.
We're gonna
video.
get straight to the
But
point
then
for
we're gonna
3
tangent
minutes,
and talk with you guys.
and then we're
for
gonna
a second.
tangent and talk. Yeah. So that's what the 3 minutes is for. You ever watch not First Take? Pardon the interruption.
Yeah.
You know they go on tangents after the topics are over.
First cut. All right, next. Been searching for my PvP God roll, gnawing hunger all season. Still haven't gotten it. Well, you could roll those, right? With umbrals?
What?
Gnawing hungers.
Yeah.
Yeah, umbrals. Umbrals.
You have a 50% chance.
Prismatic transcaster. Moving on. Europa. So,
Recaster.
isn't it transcaster?
All right. Anyway, let's go.
Who knows? Okay. Moving on. We got Europa. All right. And Lauren, go ahead and pull up this graphic. So we got the map for you, baby. We got a new trailer. It's pretty saucy. And yeah, here's the map.
It looks pretty big.
It does. It looks,
Maybe like a
Very
Tangled
big.
Shore sized.
to be honest. Yeah, I'd say, yeah, right around Tangled Shore.
Bigger than the Dreaming City.
No. You think so?
I don't know. Looks.
It just depends, like, because the scale is always a little off. You know what I mean? Like, you never know, like, because they're not to scale.
And there's
they
going
always fill the screen.
There's going to be
So,
underground.
like, Mars is, like, if they're not to scale. Like, Mars isn't, like, just one of those little zones, like, on the big map. You know what I mean? They're
Mars
always
is one of the
scaled up.
smallest areas.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
But it, like, still feels... So you never know, like, how big these areas actually are. But assuming that this is for a huge expansion, I would assume that this is pretty massive. I would say, like...
Nessus sized? Because Nessus is probably one of the bigger ones.
size, maybe the moon. Like, I think Shadowkeep Moon is probably pretty good reference. But and then on the left, we wanted to include this too, guys. This is like from the lore book,
Back from like D1.
like old. So you can see, obviously, they're pretty much the exact same shape, and they didn't like. This is just another thing where they're showing that a lot of this stuff has been pre-thought, and they're not just like making it up as they go, which is like really, really awesome. And I think just like a really good factor to keep in mind moving forward. Like same thing we talk about with Garden of Salvation. Like at the end, no one even realized like when the stuff goes up and you jump down the final hole to get your loot, like after killing the final boss.
Because everyone's just standing there ready to jump down.
It's a pyramid ship that goes straight up. And that was there like at the very beginning with the perfect textures like already built. So they already knew like where we were going with Europa,
forethought,
like
ladies and
a
gentlemen.
year ahead of time. Which like, and the fact that it was already pre-designed in the game with textures and everything really lets you know that
this is where we would call Afro Bobbin, because he said it's from Cage Journal. He knows exactly where it's from.
Yeah, boom. Because Cade's the GOAT, but oh, sorry, yeah, I forgot that I'm live on this.
But and I'm what'd you click to?
I like took the map off the screen.
But
pulled the notes up so they know what we're working.
I hope that it's of substantial size, because they are removing a lot of content. Right, we're losing Nessus, we're losing Mars, we're losing Mercury.
It has to be.
We're losing Titan.
But they're bringing. Are they bringing? Oh wait, mine. Okay.
And that's one of the things. Maybe you guys can help us. I know that they said that they're bringing the EDZ back, or not the EDZ, the Cosmodrome back at some point in time. And I thought they were bringing that back at launch. Maybe somebody can help us out there.
Is it not? That's what I thought. No, that's.
So I was talking to Ace the other day, I believe it was, and he was like, "No, that's coming later in the year." So I don't know exactly when that's coming.
I mean, I'm not opposed to that though. Like a newer section for later in the year, like down, like more content later. As long as Europa's huge, it's got to be big.
It has to be
lots
big.
of content. It almost has to be like you said, Dreaming City status.
And like 3 strikes. Like I feel like we're losing so
We need
many
at
strikes.
least 3 strikes.
We need 3 new strikes.
Have they confirmed how many we're getting? 2, 3?
It still has not been confirmed yet. So more information on that down the line. But they need to bring the content with this Europa. And just seeing the map kind of gets me a little extra. That little chub just went a little bit extra
Duke said
more.
it's not available. But yeah, I mean, it's dope that we got the map. You guys can kind of check that out. See, it's all over the place. It's all over Instagram. So
yeah,
check that out. But
super
pretty
dope.
cool. And then the trailer looked cool too.
Yeah.
But yeah, moving on, more about Europa. They announced dynamic weather.
So I'm going to pull my old
Next
labby up
topic,
for this
so-
one. My laptop. So dynamic weather. And maybe you can pull the pictures up so I can
got
read
the
about this
pictures
real
as
quick.
well. Yep.
So here's a picture of no weather at all. This would be with the current weather system.
Yep. Got look more.
So this is no storm at all. This is what Europa would look like without the new weather system. Clear skies, fresh snow, perfect skiing weather. Consider this the smoothest sailing you'll do on the icy city.
Yeah, and this looks pretty standard to like current
Icy moon.
locations, in my opinion. You know what I mean? We don't really have on any planet like actual weather effects. Like on Mars, I feel like there should be like sandstorms and like, you know what I mean? So it's pretty clean, pretty clear cut. You can see forever.
Looks beautiful.
And it looks really cool.
Little Vex terraformed
But,
structure there.
yeah, so moving on though. Go ahead, Dutch.
During a light storm, the wind picks up. Snowfall increases around you and is largely aesthetic. The light storm blots out the sun and completely obscures the starry skies above you.
And you can
This
see,
alone
like-
dramatically changes the feel of the destination.
Yeah, even just like going back and forth, it just feels much darker, much more ominous. Like here, I feel like, yeah, like they said, like I'm going skiing like in Vale, and there might be some Vex terraforms. You know what I'm saying? So, but like in general, like nothing really looks too scary there. You throw this over, and it looks a lot more mysterious, and just gives the game like a much different feel going in. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I'm gonna feel a little more eerie if I know that there's like champions and stuff out there running through it like this, compared to being like, I got the, I can see everything around me. So moving on though, so then it goes even deeper. So this isn't like
heavy storm.
This isn't A or B. Like it's gonna be kind of dynamic.
It's going to progress.
Yeah, in like percentages.
Yep. So when the heavy storm hits, the sky is heavily obscured.
Boom.
The wind roars and the snow flurries become even more violent. The midground is difficult to see, and if not for the faintly visible silhouettes, it would be nearly impossible to navigate at all. Players are encouraged to stick closer to cover and move with intent.
Yeah. So once again here, like you can see, generally like from these two, we're kind of just getting a fog over everything. But for the most part, you can see the map. Like really, the only thing that fades off is like if you, Lauren, take down our picture real quick. If you see in like the bottom right, that stuff that's really far kind of disappears. But for the most part, you could still see when you go down here, like you're
got
not
nothing.
getting much. You got those lights, and like it's easy to kind of know because you're seeing like the before. But if you just walked into this, like
You'd have no idea.
you have no idea what's out there. So, and now they talked about. You can go back to Uslearn. They talked about originally that they added not only visual effects, but it was also game defying as well, where it was affecting your movement speed. Like obviously it's blowing 50-mile-an-hour winds. You're not just trucking through like you're Usain Bolt. So
yeah, movement speed, grenade path, direction, and also they said at certain points if the wind was too hard, it would blow you off your Sparrow.
yeah, and then they were doing so like you throw grenades and they like get chucked back in your face and blowing you up like, and they basically said no. Like they tested it in studio and they said it just made the game
Unplayable.
Unplayable, but more.
I think they
more
said unenjoyable.
Unenjoyable,
Yeah,
like just miserable. I think miserable was.
And we were talking about this the other night when we were reading over it, and you were like, "Dude, what if it was like you just call your homies and you're like, all right, what's the weather like on?"
Yeah. There's like a weather. There's a new like weather forecast app, and it'd be like, oh, can't play Destiny today, guys. Huge storms on Europa.
Yeah.
Not gonna waste my time going out there to try and get my stuff done. I'll wait till tomorrow when it's clear skies.
It's clear.
Like sorry about it. You know what I mean? So
unless it was double rewards during a snowstorm.
yeah, that was another thing we said. Like I like the idea of this, especially Europa is going to be the first test. But if they have this on everything, this could be another good dynamic to put into more challenging things. Like say they have the raid, right? That's on Europa. And then they do a challenge mode that also has dynamic weather active.
That would be sick.
Like that would add like a whole nother element of what you're trying to work with.
Or even when they bring old planets back, like imagine being on Mars and you're like walking on Mars and then a sandstorm kicks in and like, so hopefully.
And what if they added like you take damage from the sand, like if you're out in the open,
or a big
you gotta
boulder,
like,
just like meteor showers or something.
Yeah.
You're just like running and it's
really
like
sick.
Your ghost is like, there's a meteor shower incoming, take cover, and it's just like
So this is
to
really,
drop a bubble.
Yeah, this is really big for the game, and I think opens up the door for a lot more possibilities going forward.
Yeah.
So
super sick. Huge fan.
Dope. That'll be the cut right there, guys, because that's gonna be one that we upload. I think as a repeat.
Yep. So now we're open to.
So now we're open to the tangents. What do you guys think? Was that a good YouTube video or what? Okay, let me know. Vex storms on Nessus. The weather report with Decon and Dutch. Yeah, every day.
Well, we've got clear skies today, ladies and gentlemen. So go ahead and get those bounties knocked out.
Vex terraforms dropping in hard. Okay, you're not going to be able to move. Grenades are going to be flying in your face. I say you stay clear. All right, park your ship at the bunker.
Drop your
Hit
bubble.
the bell on the way out. Go play a different game. All right, today's the day for Among Us.
I should be a weatherman.
Yeah. So
how's the weather out there on the moon today? Well, it has no environment, Bob, so it's perfectly fine.
Yeah, new mechanics, AO, yep. Some new guns. Oh, yeah, so moving forward, Duke just mentioned it, but our next topic, you want to read that final line?
Yep,
on the,
so I left this out. Next topic.
Yep.
And go. So it's also worth remembering that just because the weather picks up, it doesn't mean the moon's combatants disappear. Even though it looks like the snow is shooting at you, it's not. So with nearly zero visibility and a fallen Kel to stop, it might not hurt to pack a thermal scope. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. If you didn't catch the news when it dropped last week, a thermal scope.
And that just opens up the door for so many questions about like what they mean by that. That's clearly a big hint and like something that they're trying to like intentionally throw out there as like a little take this and run with it.
Yes.
And the way that it sounded was pack your thermal scope, not thermal weapon, which is kind of how I took it because
You took it as a thermal weapon?
No. I think there's a difference between if they said the two. So I was thinking it could go two routes. It could go either as a perk, right? Like, so it would roll on your gun. Like, instead of Rampage, you would have Thermal, right? Like, it could be a perk. They could run it like that, which I don't think is what they're going to do. The way that they said pack just the scope means that it could probably go on multiple weapons, and that made me wonder if they're going to be adding a new mod system to weapons.
I'm thinking attachments.
Yeah, so basically like how you put mods on now, having multiple attachments, kind of like a Call of Duty, and I don't know why they wouldn't go that route anyway. Like, that sounds sick. And then like maybe like, and they could
Gives
have
me goosebumps.
They could have like other perk stats, not just like a thermal, but like say a special scope that has faster aim down sight speed. You know what I mean? So it's basically like a not quick draw. What is it? What's that thing that has faster aim down sight? Snapshot. Or you know they have maybe what's it called? What's the thing that? Jesus,
stock?
A stock that makes you like strafe more back and forth. I mean, you can go play Call of Duty and you can figure out what.
And
all these
as you
possible
play
attachments
with
are.
that gun,
you could
you
unlock.
unlock.
Yeah, there's so
other
many ways they could go
attachments.
with it, but the way that they drop that specifically as a hint like that, I'm super pumped for, and I feel like it's going to be definitely a new implementation of either attachments, mods,
And
perks, something like that.
I
with
don't-
more customization with.
I don't want to get my hopes up with this because I don't know if Bungie has the forethought to think of. I mean,
I think they do, dude.
I hope they do.
Like, I just like, how can we make guns more customizable, right? Rather than just everyone using the same thing with like a perk.
So you get your random roll gun with Feeding Frenzy and Rampage. In addition to, you can change your scope, you can change your stock, you can change your barrel, you can get a magazine attachment.
Yeah, so Duke's,
Maybe.
So
Hold
Duke's
on.
saying it's just a new scope.
I got
option.
it. I got
That's
it.
what
I
he
got
says.
it. How your arm. I just thought of this. I'm brilliant. How your armor goes up to 10. And you know your ghost is going to go up
Yeah,
to 10.
that's what I'm saying.
You master your work your gun up to 10, and different attachments cost different amounts to
Yep,
slot them all.
100%.
And then you have to sacrifice.
Just thought of this? That's literally what I was talking about.
You weren't talking about
That's
that.
literally what I said with the mods.
Your barrel costs 2. Your scope
Yeah,
costs
weapon
3.
mods.
Dude, I'm so fucking smart.
That's what I've been saying. Oh my gosh. No, I mean, Duke, I feel you. It could definitely be just a new scope intrinsic option, like where you pick your scope. But
You didn't say it was going to cost points, to be clear.
okay, no, I didn't go to the point system. But I said mod sauce, different mods.
You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay.
I was like, I'm not that hyped for it, and then it just clicked, and I just went to
But
super
like
hyped.
Duke said, it could be a scope option. My only thing about the scope options is those in the past have never like introduced a gun altering mechanic per se. It more was just like a little more range or a different zoom amount on the scope rather than like a thermal setting. You know what I mean? Like that just seems like a big step up and advantage over like a little more range or a little more handling or something like that. So that's the only reason that I think dropping that in the way that they did, make sure you pack a thermal scope, could be more than we think. Because, you know, they're not telling us everything about this stuff. And if they've thought about reworking the Ghost, if they've thought about already Armor 2.0 and people really like Armor 2.0, they're excited about the Ghost stuff, why wouldn't they add it to the weapons too? So I think it's right there.
Weapons
on par.
2.0.
Yeah, like I don't see why it wouldn't be there. Along with your normal intrinsic perks. Then you would just have your upgraded mods that go on each one as well for more customization. But those would be like unanimous across classes.
Rounds, you could add rounds to that. Get your accurized rounds on.
Well, yeah, but those would probably be perks, I would guess. But I don't know. It's just an idea, and I think definitely something dope for them to think about going forward. Yeah.
Before we start the next topic, we've been trying to get our hands
El
on these
Duce
high
with
noons.
the ideas.
We've been trying to get our hands on these high noons for, I don't know, months now. Nooners?
And the EXO on the trailer. I don't think so,
Look
Afro.
at that. Look at the water dripping down. It's like a fucking commercial.
Might as well be. We're getting paid. What is
So-
this bullshit? Are you kidding me? Look at Lauren. Give me a zoom in. What is this? Right on the mouthpiece? What's going on here?
It's
You see this
dented.
dent? Right
Here,
on
I'll
the
switch
mouth.
you. I'll switch you, baby teeth.
No.
I don't want you to chip your baby teeth on that dented
No,
can.
it's actually perfect because my teeth normally can't open wide enough for that.
So I've been trying to get high noons like through my restaurant for months, but they're just since Barstool started drinking nooners, they're just out of stock everywhere. And GK found them at a liquor store literally across the state.
Nice.
You're welcome.
Ooh.
Cool. So yeah, moving on. We've got the engine. So once again, with kind of the dynamic weather, all this stuff kind of relates. And the dynamic weather is a part of the new engine that they have coming in. And they put out a very, like, I guess, technical thing that came out. And it's a little more confusing and kind
Way
of
over my head.
kind of vague. But from what I've talked about with people and from my understanding of it, here's kind of how it breaks down. And I'm going to try and do this in, like, the most basic and, like, lamest of terms. You know what I mean?
Because that's the only way you know how to do it.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, let it rip. Let's hear it.
So basically, the biggest change that they're making with the new engine kind of thing, and it's not even a new engine per se. They said, like, it's just, like, a very reworked, like, version. Which, like, the way it was explained to me, it was like, if you have a broom, you replace the handle, and then you replace the the like broom part, is it the same broom? It's like, no. You know what I mean? So that's kind of how it works. But
That was not what I was expecting.
is it already over your head? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right. But basically, so right now the way the game works is a lot of the client side or like a lot of the server side of how the game interacts with each other, say we're in a Crucible match, is from our consoles or our computers are like giving out those signals. And then we're like, our side is going to the main server, but the main server is just is like a listener, right? It's listening to the feedback that we give it, and then it responds like with that. But it doesn't actually control it. Like our consoles and our computers on our end are basically controlling the game and the aspects. So like all of our computers kind of work together to build an instance of a world per se, right? And that instance runs off of our downloaded game. So like when they do patches, it updates everybody's game, and now all the games on each of our things work together to play an instance out, correct? Now, the way that it'll work is instead of our computers having that load and us kind of are like on our instances working off of the game files, instead of that, it's going to work on their side, on their server, and it's going to have control. So instead of just being a listener, it's also going to be a teller to us, like how it should be working, right? Now, the way that this was kind of explained to me was that when this happens, it allows them to basically change the game without having to do, like right now they have to do patches, and then they have to get like reviewed, and they have to get approved.
Right. So
then they have to roll out the patch, take everybody offline, make sure everyone comes back in the same game version.
think about like
Because
Fellwinter's, right?
Yep,
When
yep.
the Fellwinter's quest was bugged, it took them a week. Was it a week? 2 weeks? How long was it? I don't remember. But it was quite some time before they were able to get
it
that
had to get approved.
because it had to get approved.
But the biggest thing is because everyone has to exit out of their game and come back in to the new version, download it to the new version so that everyone's game is running, because our games actually matter because we're the ones giving the information, making the game run, right?
Yes.
This way, you won't have to leave. They can do things in real time, add in real changes, and like do much more dynamic stuff because the info is coming from them, from their main server, right? Rather than us. So we're just reading what they're giving to us instead of the other way around. You know what I'm saying? So the way it was explained, they'll be able to do like dynamic events where they could just literally add patches and stuff without going through the entire thing, because it's just they're changing how we read their stuff. Because our game already knows, say, how to read a Cabal enemy, right? So we already know how to read Cabal. Like our game knows what a Cabal enemy is. So they can add a Cabal in to like the map. They're just like, oh, 50 Cabal on the map right now. They could do that live, in person, in game, like at any moment, which is kind of weird. Because right now they can't do that. They can't actually change like the aspects of the game or how the units control or things like that. But basically this would allow them to do dynamic events, things like that, where say they wanted to have like a most wanted target, right? And if you're the first one who get there, you get like a special emblem, right? Like a live event. So anyone in this like public space would be like hunting for this big guy, and you'd be like chasing, trying to kill him first. And they could just spawn that in instantly, like no matter what they wanted. And they could come up with that stuff off of a whim.
Does this also change them having to bring the game offline on like Tuesday?
They don't even
resets?
have to. Well, they still would have to do that for major updates to the patch, like for like new content and things like that, like major changes. But as far as like a bug fix or like adding certain things, or like something, you know what I mean? Like they can do it in real time because they're changing it on their end, and they don't have to actually change what's on our console because our console knows how to read it. But right now, our consoles and our instances and servers are the ones giving the info back for how the game should run. But the way that this is going to work is they're going to tell us how the game should be running, and we're going to be the ones who are reading, rather than the opposite way around. Right now, we're giving the info, and their server reads it and puts it all together.
Do you think it's going to be that massive? Because the one example that they gave was face-to-face tower joining without long load time.
I don't know what that means.
So that means like if you're in the
I get what
tower
you're
and
saying,
I
but-
fly into the tower, but we're not in the same fire team, and I'm like, oh, there's Decon. Right now, if I want to join you, you send me an invite, it kicks me back out to orbit, and it flies me back in the tower. So it would be like a seamless like joining you.
Yeah. I mean, this is just what I was told.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know
And
anything
I
about
was
it. I'm
also
just
told it
asking.
should help with cheaters and stuff like that on PC because, or just like, I guess anything, because right now we're telling the game, right? So and the game really is just kind of listening. It's not understanding and giving the knowledge back per se, like the way that the engine is built right now. So they could add things like, say people are using like teleport glitches, right? Like teleport hacks. The game will be able to read it and notice like, hey, this person was here and 1 millisecond later, they're way over here. And it'll be like, that's not right. And the game can instantly adjust to that. And they could add like patches or whatever that would teleport that player back to where they were. Or ban them or kick them or whatever.
I mean, that's going to be huge.
But in the service right now, your computer is telling the game and it's kind of just listening and putting it together. So there's no part like when you teleport, you're just telling the game, I'm here now. There's no part where the computer gets to kind of, or their servers get to kind of comprehend what just happened and make real-time decisions.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
That's going to be huge on PC because obviously Trials is virtually unplayable on PC because cheating is so bad. And I don't know. I play on console, but that's just what I've heard. I've heard MTash rant about it. I know Asdacross, who plays on PC, I've seen him been playing on his PlayStation recently. Like I've seen some videos where he'll be like, "All right, I'm gonna play on my PlayStation today." So that would be pretty huge.
Yeah. So that's like kind of the gist of it, guys. It's huge. It allows for way more dynamic events, faster patches, faster fixes, like. I mean, across the board, just better.
Yeah.
From what I've heard. The only downfall was that they did say that with this new engine, they're kind of just converting over the old stuff, and older missions and whatnot will probably have bugs going into Beyond Light. And they said they've tested a bunch, but like obviously when they're just doing their in-studio testing, that's not the same as having millions of players test it and discover bugs, which happens all the time. But they said on older missions, you can expect that, and they'll be able to roll out fixes, hopefully more quickly with this new server, and they'll be on it. But
pretty dope. Just
so you guys know, when we go into Beyond Light, expect the older missions, which you probably won't be playing anyway, expect them to be bugged.
So let's see. Tim says, so they could drop a Whisper mission anytime they want.
Yes.
In theory?
Yeah, in theory, they could drop like, oh, no, because that would be like a new thing. That would have to be put into a patch. Because our game client doesn't recognize like that mission per se, but our game client does know what a Cabal enemy looks like or like a big hive boss looks like. You know what I mean? So they can take that code and they could just place it on Europa somewhere randomly. Like it has to be stuff that our game already knows about. So if it's like a new mission or like a new map layout or just new scenarios in general, those will probably still have to be patched. But as far as like little things like just adding in public events or adding it, they could just add like 5 champions, like just imagine adding like 15 champions to like Europa in one confined area, and they're going to war.
When it's snowing hard as fuck.
And it's snowing, they start making it snow hard as hell, and like you and your boys got to go in there, and like it's just like a 1080.
I'm just gonna go around. Leave them for the next squad.
No. But if you win, but you get like a huge chest or something.
Yeah, that would be dope.
Like that's the kind of stuff, and they'll be able to do it on a whim. It won't have to be scheduled. Right now, like all the public events are scheduled, right?
Yeah.
Like if
No
yeah, matter where
you can go to websites. You can go to websites and figure out
and
when.
you know how it's coming because it's pre-programmed into our game. This allows them to be actually completely random, completely dynamic, and for them to do like a lot more creative things.
Duke
like
says less data mines as well.
Yeah, because the info will be on their side, and they'll be able to just drop it in rather than it all having to be on our game client, essentially. That's how it's been explained.
After Bob said, so they really will have a person with a Cabal drop pod ruining people's days.
Yeah, so I heard Glad talking about it, and Glad was basically like, so they could see me like ball duping, like trying to do something ridiculous, and they could just be like,
fuck Glad.
Fuck you, 15 champions right on top of him. And like, in essence, yes, they could. Which is really cool.
Yeah,
like,
it's actually sick.
I mean, they're never going to do that, obviously, but like the idea that they could do that for events to make the game more dynamic and kind of have some more, like, it just opens up a lot of doors out the rip. And we're not going to see a lot of this specifically in Beyond Light. Like they say it's just the kind of beginning, the building blocks of this, but it is going to open the door for them down the road to do a lot more fun and dynamic world events like that. And it means less cheating, faster updates, faster bug replacements, like a lot of quality of life changes as well.
100% down for all that.
Yeah, and the dynamic weather is a part of it as well, which all, once again, is just sick.
I'm glad you were in charge of that topic and not me.
Yeah, so that's kind of how I've come to understand it.
Well, let's hope you're right.
Yeah. All right, next topic.
Resistance.
This is a big one, guys. So welcome. We got a resistance topic here. We're going to talk about the ins and outs, and I was actually really surprised on a lot of this. But basically, this is not our info. We did not discover this.
We found this on Raid Secrets.
Yep. And basically, the source was Bachmanetti. I don't know.
Lauren, you can
His
pop it
name's
up.
here on the screen. But we got a lot of info about the actual resistances and the health and all the different mods and stuff like that, and the actual numbers that have been tested to kind of tell you and kind of take away that fog that surrounded these mods.
And I had no idea on a lot of this.
They're not specific. And I'd like to, but before we start, I'd like to say Bungie just needs to incorporate this like hard numbers into their mods instead of like greater resistance to boss mods. It needs to just say
30%,
10%, 5%. Like it needs to have hard numbers. That's what this game's about. And I don't know why that's not in here. But thank you to Bachmanetti and his team. And yeah, let's get right into it. We're just going to kind of talk about a lot of this and get you guys hip so you know what you're doing during your mod checks. All right, let's roll right in. So first things first is the damage bar. So obviously this was kind of a surprise to me as well. You'll see that your health, like after your shield breaks, 45% of it is the red bar, and then 55% of your total damage you can take is the shield. So it's almost 50-50, where I thought the shield kind of...
You thought the shield was more.
I thought the shield was more. Like, I thought it was 75-25 or something,
Yeah.
right? So you actually have a lot more health once you break to that red than you think.
And that's why Protective Light probably works so well.
And
also.
Protective Light doesn't even proc till you get, like, way lower of the red bar, like the last 10%.
I thought it was when your shield broke.
I don't think so. I'm pretty sure it's...
I think it's when your shield breaks.
No, because it's always like at the very end of the red. I'm telling you, like when you're near death. Anyway, I actually have that here at the end, so we can kind of look at that. Now, resilience as well. What I also didn't realize was it's only your additional shield. So as you guys can see here, we have all the tiers of how much, and this is for PvE stuff, guys. Obviously, it relates to PvP as well, but all of this, just for reference, is for was PvE tested. But the resilience actually only helps this 55%. It has zero effect on your 45% of health. So effectively, it's only 1 to 2% per tier, which you have to actually half to, because it's only about half of your total
Which
health.
is why resilience really means nothing in PvP.
It really means nothing. So if you break this down, 1% here, 2%, 3%, 4%, right? You're only actually getting about 1%-ish of your total shield, which breaks down to like 0.5 to 1%. You know what I mean? So it really has very little difference, and you should almost never run a resilience mod in PvE.
In Tier 1, just to be clear, Tier 1 is when you have a 10 in resilience, correct?
Yeah,
Tier 2
this is
20,
yeah, this
Tier
is like
3 is 30.
if you looked at your total resilience, Tier 1 all the way up to Tier 10.
And Tier 10 would be 100 maxed out.
Yep. So moving on, we have the standard resist mods, which is minor, major, and boss. And you'll see here, each of these give 10% flat out, and then you'll see the diminishing returns over here on the right. So, we have a little bit less here, 17, 23, 27, all the way up to 5, where you're basically losing a whole mod to get to, or losing 2 whole mods to get to 30. So I really would not recommend stacking these. If you're going to stack it, max twice, but you see it's even less and less for each mod after. This last one doesn't even give you 3% additional damage reduction, so you're almost never going to want to like stack much past 2, and I probably will never stack 2 at all because I'd rather take them somewhere else. Now, another thing to keep in mind is these emblems as well. So I didn't even realize as well that there's a difference between yellow bar elites, yellow bar majors as far as the color here. Which is kind of cool. And honestly, in game, it's going to be a little bit harder to tell because they are so close, as you can see. But what is important is the badge icons. So you can see minors or anything with this normal square. Majors have like the rounded badge at the bottom. Elites are going to be triangles. Bosses are going to be diamonds. So kind of keep that in mind too when you're wondering. And for boss mods, I always assume that it was only the bosses, but that in fact is not true. So as you can see here for boss resist, it's actually your yellow bars and triangle icons for elites. So this includes all champions. So like when we're running Grandmaster Nightfalls, I always used to think major for champions because they're not boss yellow bars,
Correct.
right? So, but that's not true. So you actually want boss for this. So this is going to be really, really important to keep in mind when you guys are doing this. And Vorpal weapon as well, as you can see here, affects elites as well, which it says it's boss damage. But this is going to be game-changing for me too when I'm thinking about weapons. Like, I mean, we use Izanagi's a lot, but if you're thinking about how to take down champions really quick, something with Vorpal is going to do more damage to champions.
Yeah, which is very interesting.
So keep that in mind. But on the other hand, Dutch.
So heavy armor resistance mods, like you just said, include elites, champions, and bosses. But
Which is these. Yep.
But major specs that you put on your weapons only
Boss spec. Yeah.
No, major specs only affect majors and champions, while boss specs only affect bosses.
Yeah. So it's kind of weird.
It is kind of weird.
Yeah.
And I wish there was more clarity on that, because you would never know why elite, like resistance mods are for elite and bosses, but boss spec is only for bosses.
For damage. So don't think that if you put a boss spec on your gun, it's going to do more damage to champions. It's not. It's only going to do bosses. So it's kind of weird that those are different, and I'm not sure how
you can see that right
Bungie
there.
did that.
It's kind of weird.
But yeah, so make sure you have major spec on if you want to do more damage for weapons, not for resist mods. So that's kind of like the only caveat to this in general. Moving on, we've got the other damage resist mods, which would be concussive, and then your elementals. And this was surprising to me as well. We have 10% on the major and minor, but on these elementals, it's only 5%. I honestly thought that it would probably be more than the major. Like, that was just kind of always my
And we use those. We use those a lot in Grandmaster Nightfalls.
But 5% is almost like nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you definitely don't be running these resists over the actual
major
minor,
boss.
because even 2 of these is doing less than a major mod would for what, like major enemies. You know what I mean? Or even minors. Like if those minors are throwing grenades at you, like that are fire, leave fire on the ground.
You want the concussive.
Yeah, you want the concussive.
And
for 15%.
we've always debated that when we go through our loadouts for Grandmaster Nightfalls. Like I always run one boss, one major, one minor.
Yep.
I'll throw a concussive on, and then whatever the resistance singe is, if it's extra void. But now I know, like, maybe I should throw on that extra major spec instead.
Yeah. So the way I kind of read it is, or in my theology of mod checking, I would pretty much stay away from resist. If you have an extra slot, cool. But even if we go back here, you can see on the diminishing returns, even stacking a second, like say boss for champions, it's going to give you 7.9 additional compared to that 5%. So I would go with that for sure. Moving on. Finally, we have just all the kind of obsolete mods. So your barrier mods, 20%. This is pretty well known. That these numbers, these are less surprising. I already knew these. But stacking them as well, you can stack Taken and Fallen, or Taken and Hive. I know a lot of people do that for Prophecy, and that's going to total 36%. They do have diminishing returns on each other, but they are stackable.
That's huge.
Yeah, huge. So you're going to want to take these over anything if you're fighting a specific type of combatant. And if you're fighting something that's dual, like I said, Prophecy, where it's the Taken Hive Knights, those count as both. So you're going to want to take both and stack the 36%, or Fallen, or whatever it is. So always take these. These are going to be your best to go-tos. And then obviously we have the Protective Light, which is 50%. Oh, it is after shield break. Okay, so yeah, you were right. And then we have Warmind Protection, which, if they're near 50% again. Striking Light, the 25% while sprinting. That's in our invincibility guide.
Check that out.
Super strong. And all of these stack. So keep that in mind too. If you have Protective Light procs while you're sprinting, it is going to have diminishing returns, but you're still going to be at like 70% or something stupid.
And this is a build, the Protective Light, Striking Light, that we use all the time.
Yeah, it's like one of our most watched videos on YouTube.
It's huge.
So that's pretty much it, guys. I hope that this helps you guys out a lot, and hopefully this kind of sheds some light, because I was really surprised when I saw this. And big shout out to him for hooking it up. Yeah, Lauren, you can come back to us.
Manelli.
Yeah, so big shout out to him. And I know he sourced a couple other people, like special thanks, who helped him with the testing and stuff. So big shout out to him. Thank you. Once again, not taking credit for our own testing, but just wanted to share this with you guys, and hope it helps you guys out. So, yeah. And cut. And that's another YouTube video, guys. But
Dude, I was reading the comments while you were talking. That shit was hilarious. Someone said it sounded like a Zoom math class.
might as well be, dude. Might as well be.
Somebody said that.
Yeah.
So,
Who said it?
Yeah, and there's
Not
already spreadsheets out for this that have like way more in depth about the content. So I'll put that in our intellectual chariot in our Discord if you guys are in there, which I'm pretty sure most of you guys are.
But this is huge news, or huge news to me. I had no idea because we were playing Hyperscape the other night, and I was just I go on, when I'm playing Destiny, I always have my dim up, and I have like, whenever we're streaming, like if you're streaming and Ace is streaming, like I always have everyone's streams up. When we're playing Hyperscape, I'm like, what do I do on my fucking computer? I just watch like ESPN or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was going through Reddit, just like scrolling, and I came across it. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, huge.
Yeah.
So it definitely, as a big mod check guy, pretty huge, and hopefully that helps you guys out too. Once again, we'll post right after the show's over. We'll post that in Intellectual Chariot so you guys can check it out, and we'll post the spreadsheets as well.
And we should post all those on Instagram as well.
That has it
'Cause
like
I have not seen those on Instagram yet.
we should post it.
Yeah.
As someone goes through and screenshots all of our stuff right now and posts it. Nintendo, where you at? All right. But yeah, guys, hopefully that helps you guys out. So, cool. Moving on. Next topic, the hype. So we kind of wanted to end on something, and kind of this is more, we wanted to get your guys' opinions on this and get your thoughts about if the hype is building, because it kind of seems like it is with the past couple TWABs. There's been a bunch of dope content. The new engine and the dynamic stuff for me, like, although we don't have like the weather, the dynamic weather, we don't have like a ton of like specifics there.
The Ghost.
But that stuff just like charges me up that they're thinking in the right direction. And we've complained about a lot of things like, why do these bugs last for so long, right? And once again, we're not coders, we don't know the background of it. But when they talk about things like having to go through all these processes to put the game client out, test it, do all these patches, and then they talk about how you could potentially skip all of that and just do live updates with this new game engine. You can't be anything but hopeful when you hear that and think that they're going in the right direction. So what do you guys think on a 1 out of 10, 10 being the most hyped, at this point, 7 weeks out, almost 6, how charged up are you for the new Beyond Light? And do you think it's gonna live up to your current hype, and will it be the best to date that we've ever had for an expansion?
Personally, I'm setting the hype bar a little low this year because we sat. Well,
But it's easy to say that now, though.
We sat not in these exact chairs. We were downstairs in your living room. But if we start, so we last week we said that it had been a year, and I literally got a reminder on my phone, like on Instagram. It was like, you posted your first post. That was our first episode of Going Flawless. And I remember being so hyped. We had just started getting Shadow Keep news.
It was dropping in like a week or two.
Yeah, and we were sitting there and we were watching, like, we had pictures of new guns and we had pictures of Prophecy Dungeon, of
Pit of Heresy.
Pit of Heresy Dungeon, and we were going through it and we were like, holy shit, this is going to be the best year of Destiny we've ever seen.
Yeah.
Following Forsaken, Shadowkeep in retrospect, we're going to do, probably in a couple weeks, we'll do a wrap-up on Shadowkeep, but following Forsaken, it was definitely a huge difference, because Forsaken might be one of the best times, arguably, in Destiny history.
Yeah.
So I'm setting, I want to be wowed this time around, so I'm setting my hype expectations a little bit lower, maybe a
little more reasonable.
Yeah, maybe like a 6 or 7 out of 10, because this time last year I was definitely at a 10 out of 10, like.
Well, I think you'll be like 10 out of 10 in 2 weeks before.
Maybe.
Like, you're still 7 weeks out, and we don't have, like we're going to have pictures of guns. We're going to have, like, a lot more info. You're going to know what's coming.
Maybe a more cautious hype than before.
Yeah, so you said 6 or 7.
6 or 7 out of 10.
No, you got to pick.
All right, 6.5.
Or 6.5, 6.5. There you go. We got a 6, 6.9. You know what it is. Never round the numbers.
69, NICE, nice, baby.
Duke Bigums. We've got 7, Kendo. Excited for the performance improvements and Series X. Yeah, dude, on Series X.
Afro Bob's 11 out of 10. He's super hyped.
Load times. But the content. Wait, what? But the content has to be good for the improvements to be worth it. 100%. Couldn't agree more. Afro Bob sent me this picture. Let's pull this up in a second, Lauren. So.
Spider's 10.5.
What is this?
And maybe Shadowkeep was doomed to begin with, following Forsaken. Like, how can you recover from that?
Pull that up, Lauren.
Like, how can you recover from such a great thing? What do we see here, Afro Bob?
So this is like a
Exos?
Exo and something in the trailer. Exo with Vex or something. What I don't remember what he was saying. I don't really know what that means. But he said this is what he's pumped for 11 out of 10 for. So yeah. Is that an Awoken?
Can you explain Afro Bob?
Or
See, this is why we need to call Afro Bob in.
Yeah, this is where you just need to come on the show. But yeah,
We don't have that technology yet.
not yet. Next week.
It's a picture of a Vex hooked up to a Vex in a Braytech Exo facility.
Dope. I don't know what that means, but
Exo hooked up to a Vex.
I think you need a lore bits on it.
Exo hooked up to a Vex.
Put the lore bits out on it, or put the special Instagram post. I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, I'd really like to, in order for me to get hyped, I really want to know what content we're getting. Like, I want to know we already know we're getting one raid. I want to know how many strikes we're getting. I want to know if we're getting another dungeon. I mean, they're taking Prophecy Dungeon out they said we'll get that back by the end of the year, so they're going to take it out in November. We'll have it back by December. That was one of the things that was going to be affected by the new engine. So
yeah, I think they said 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
I think so.
Okay.
They just have to take it out real quick, make some changes, and put it back in.
I want to be a 10 out of 10 come November. Like, I want to sit down in my gaming chair at reset. I hope that the servers don't get bombarded and we get
It's going to happen, 100%.
Bitches.
100%.
They should get exclusivity to Formula Gaming.
Yeah. So, all right, let's roll into it. We got some shared wisdom. Get your Postmaster questions ready. All right, if you guys got questions, drop them in now.
You know the drill.
You know what's up. You know what we're here. Also, drop a like, guys. We're trying to do some more graphics for you during the show. Trying to improve it. We're going to start the call next week. And let us know if there's anything that we can do better. Let us know in our Discord in the Guardian Report discussion, because we're always trying to improve the show and make it better for you guys. So
it's all about you guys. We do this for you.
I do it for y'all. Put the team on my back. No.
So while you guys drop Postmasters questions, any questions, doesn't have to be game related. You know the drill. Anybody that's new watching.
All right, but go ahead.
Destiny questions, real life questions, whatever.
Swag questions, clout drip questions.
So shared wisdom this week. Iron Banner will be back. The last Iron Banner of the year.
Is it? There's no way.
I think they announced that.
There's no. If that's the case, it's kind of fucked because it's like 2 months without an Iron Banner. That sounds weird.
It'll be the first week of October.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
But what about?
And it's going to be Triple Valor.
Okay.
Tomorrow also starts the highest curse week in the Dreaming City. So if you need those Truth to Power lore books, you can get those at 1 o'clock on Reset. If you do the Offering to the Oracle, that's it. That's all I got.
Also, it was announced that.
My what? Oh.
You know I got the nice
That white
pasties.
meat.
But they also announced that Destiny 2 will have to be completely re-downloaded for launch. So I just want to announce that for you guys.
But they're shrinking the size and almost in half.
Yeah, which is super
And
sick.
you can re-download it the night before.
Yep, 10 hours before it will be live. So make sure that you guys are ready to go. 10 hours before, we'll be posting it on our
Zach, sorry, we won't be able to
Instagram.
play with you at Reset because you know it's going to take you a week and a half to download the new
Yep,
Destiny.
100%. And I'll already be raid ready by the time you get it downloaded.
We're going to have to replace him.
Yeah, so. Yeah, guys. So just be ready for that. We'll post it out on our Instagram, Discord. Go download, pre-download now. But just a heads up, they did announce that you will have to re-download the entire game. So.
Oh, and someone asked, Adamantium Thompson asked, did we were able to snag new Xbox pre-orders?
Oh yeah, baby. I got 2 of them.
And I got 1.
Lit. Yeah.
Lauren got 2.
We got a bunch. Lauren got 2 of them. Yeah, I didn't get any. Our producer Lauren, LB here, Goat, got 2 of them. And she also bought my last Xbox. So she's 3 for 3.
Leading the charge.
Yeah.
I didn't buy any, sorry. No, that one's mine.
You were at work.
Yeah.
I was there. Refresh. Target. Decon's like, oh, I got one over at Walmart. I'm like, I don't want to buy it at Walmart.
I don't want to buy it at Walmart. Yeah. So that's what's up. Any other questions? Did we miss anything? Series X pre-orders. I want to hear you. Yeah, hell yeah. You know we live. You guys manage. Me too. Can't get rid of mine.
3? Holy shit.
Who got 3?
Ace.
Ace 3.
Yeah, Malone got 3.
Malone got 3, but I think some of his got returned or something. I don't know.
Yikes.
All right. So we got any questions today?
Dope. No, that's it. No more questions.
You know Duke's gonna have a question.
Question, uber selfish. Actually, who wants to help carry me in the Crucible to get me some beers? 100%. I think we're doing that tonight, right?
Afro Bob?
Yeah, aren't we doing a bunch of clan triumphs tonight?
Yeah, Afro Bob. So tonight we're going to do Band Spare. We're going to do F This G. We're going to do Aim to Misbehave.
We're going to do them all.
We're going to do Maybe a prophecy dungeon in under 22 minutes.
Yep.
What else? Duke, if you want in on that. Also, Duke needs some beers.
Hit us up. We'll be live. We'll be on.
Sins of the Past. We can do that one.
Yeah, do them all.
Yeah, I'm going to bed early tonight, so you can get on early. I gotta wake up at 3:30.
Count me in, boys.
I'll wake you up.
If you had to fight one historical figure, who would it be and why?
Napoleon, because he's a little bitch.
Napoleon. Dude, I'm fighting Hitler. To the death. Because, like, if I kill Hitler, then, like, you're just the GOAT.
You go down in the
Like,
history
imagine
books?
you take Hitler out in a knife fight. Like, they're just like,
in a
you're
knife
going up-
fight
yeah, dude, you're going up on
in the
the,
gulag,
yeah, in the gulag, dude. Me and Hitler in the gulag.
eating goulash.
You know I'm going on the Mount Rushmore of, like, world heroes. Done.
Tell Adam, so that way they were just all ease. No, God.
Easy money. Not even a question.
That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard.
Achilles, because I know his weakness. I know Hitler's mustache is his weakness. Stab him right in the teeth. He's got big adult teeth. They'll be easy to hit.
Sometimes the producers just say shit that just makes no fucking sense.
It made sense. You're just mad.
I'm glad
All right,
you guys
guys.
didn't have to hear that
Thanks everyone.
stupidity.
Thanks everyone for tuning in.
Thanks for taking part in our new format of the show, which is not that much different than the old format of the show.
There's another
Oh, there's another question.
Oh, okay.
why Adam should
Who wins the game tonight? Chiefs or Ravens? Chiefs. Not even a question. Ravens have no shot.
Who
These
asked that?
shorts are for the Lakers, not for whatever. My boy LeBron quarter the finals against
Miami?
my boy D Wade. The Heat.
Did you wear a Heat shirt and a Lakers?
Well, this is just a Dwayne Wade shirt, and these are but I did on purpose. Heat Lakers. But Dwayne Wade's not playing, but you know he's gonna be there.
Ravens Chiefs. I got to give it to edge to the Chiefs.
100%, dude. Not even a question.
Better defense. I don't know, dude. Ravens got a good defense. It's gonna be a shootout for sure.
Nope. Ravens are gonna get smashed. Good night. You heard it here first.
Napot said that's why we need a producer, Mike.
They have a producer, Mike, and Lauren
I got
doesn't like to turn it
600
on.
for the box.
And they guys, they giggle and talk so much over there. Like
No, we don't.
it would be
That's a
like
lie.
it would be a lot of
You
background.
guys
noise
talk
for
a
you.
lot over there.
No, we don't.
Okay.
Okay.
Sus.
Sus. Anyway, guys, drop a like. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let us know your comments in the Discord when we go live right now. Tell your friends.
Also, Super Chat is active, so if you guys enjoy what you see,
drop 100 bomb. All right. Have a nice night. No, guys, but yeah, let us know what you think in the Discord. Let's keep the discussion rolling.
Duke says a lot of giggles, a lot of burps.
Big facts out here. But
Word.
dope, guys.
Well,
Appreciate it. Love y'all.
are you gonna stream tonight?
Yeah, I'll stream tonight.
And I'll stream tomorrow.
So come hang out
Yeah.
on the wagon.
Yep.
All right. Peace out. We live. Gang. Tell your friends. Come watch a show with us. Get everyone involved.
Hide your kids. Hide your wife.
And let's get it. We'll see you guys next week.
You look sus.
Peace.